Oh God. Why? Why? Oh, that was the most horrible thing ever. Oh God. NeoVisions. I'm not sponsored by this, so I can't. Oh, I'm also just. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, the cap was still on it. That's even worse. Oh God, you maniacs! Oh, you maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you! Damn you all to hell! Actually, it wasn't that bad. Hey everyone, welcome to another video with me, Umber and today we're going to be talking about, well, NeoVisions. Yeah, NeoVisions has been a long time coming, and, well, it's been a long time coming to get the full entire picture of exactly what a NeoVisions unit is, how powerful they're going to be, and whether or not it is something that you need to be worried about into the future, and I'm here to tell you, maybe. Yeah, it's one of those things that's always really interesting when the live stream about the new thing just isn't quite completely clear about the entire picture, but it does give us a much better idea of exactly what a NeoVision is and just how to get it, how powerful they're going to be, and all kinds of that stuff. So yeah, forget the drama, forget all that stuff. Let's talk about the FF7 remake, because yeah, it was pretty evident early on that it was going to be Final Fantasy VII related, based on just the fact that, well, we knew ahead of time that, yeah. I mean, Tifa and Red 13 were getting the first NeoVisions. Of course, it was going to be a Final Fantasy VII remake thing, and yes, before we get into it, let's get into it about the fact that Tifa and Red 13 will be getting a NeoVision upgrade, meaning that the old unit, provided that you have gone up to level 120, and that you have their Super TMR, will be able to upgrade them with the necessary upgrade materials. That's getting a little ahead, but it is pretty common at this, or it is pretty well known that that was going to be a feature for those new two. Now, as of the two new characters that will be coming, we will be getting Cloud, the very first pure NeoVision unit, and yes, he is a CG unit. No, he is not considered a FEST, and you will also not be able to UOC him on the JP side. I think that was going to be pretty common anyway. And also, Barret is getting a 5-star and will be upgradable to a 7-star. He is not a NeoVisions unit and doesn't seem to be. The event will feature, of course, well, maybe you didn't necessarily know this, but the free unit this event will be Reno. Congratulations to Reno, the first member of the Turks to make it into the game. And yeah, that's cool. I like Reno. Cool to see him. RIP, rest in peace, the Japanese voice actors who died recently. That is, of course, a shame and a tragedy, but hey, a little bit of an honor to get the unit. Bear with it. Anyway, the point is that Reno will be the free unit. He will come from a 5-star unit up to a 7-star unit, and this is basically a King Mog event. You know, you know exactly what is going to be happening in this, and there are a few new farmable things that would look like to be coming with events as well, so there you go. And concluding off some final information, besides all the campaigns that will be starting, such as login campaigns, special campaigns, there is going to be a new series boss battle added, Safer Sephiroth, or no, yeah, Bizarro first, then Safer came after. This will be the series boss battle, and this will power up a ton of Final Fantasy VII units, including, of course, the newer units, but also a lot of the old units, right down to, of course, Kate Sith. So there you go, that will be your series boss battle. But of course, everybody is here for the NeoVision information. And the NeoVision information, well, when I find the right one, there it is. We're going to talk about it. Okay, so NeoVisions are a new rarity of summon. Kind of. Basically, the way it works is that a NeoVision is a new type of crystal that can fall or reform from a rainbow crystal, and that will end up giving you a NeoVision unit. Currently, as of May 1st, the first time that this will happen, the only pure NeoVision unit that can come out of one of these red crystals, these ones right there, is the new version of Cloud. Not OG Cloud, not Tifa, not Red 13, only Cloud, the new version of Cloud. So what that means is that if this crystal drops, congratulations, you are incredibly lucky, because the rate for these crystals is not high. Actually, the rate is 1%. Yes, it is 1%. The new rainbow rate will be going up to 10% total. Basically, the pull rates now are 5-star crystals are at 10%. 4 stars will be up to 45%, and 3 stars will be down to 45%. For instance, as of the new Final Fantasy VII Remake banner, this is how it will work. 4.5% of that 10% will go to other rainbows, basically off-banner rainbows. 1.5 will go to Red 13, 1.5 will go to original OG Tifa, and 1.5% will go to the new Barret, with the final 1% being NeoVisions Final Fantasy VII Remake Cloud. Now this Cloud is the one that you want. He is going to be the new type of unit out there. And that is something that you should note. There are 2 types of NeoVision units. There are basically the upgrade units such as Cloud and, getting ahead of myself, Tifa and Red 13. Both Tifa and Red 13 are their original 5-star units that got the 7-star upgrade, that now, if you have maxed out at level 120, have the necessary upgrade materials, and have their Super TMR, which I know is a bit of a stretch, but follow, you will be able to upgrade them to their NeoVision versions. And those NeoVision versions will be more powerful versions with new abilities, as well as the new Brave Shift feature, which we will talk about in a little bit. But that is one type of unit. These are basically what we should be calling as NeoVision upgrades. These are units that are older units that are going to get upgraded. Okay? Now, the other type of NeoVision unit is the pure one. These are the ones that drop from the red crystals, from the reformed red crystals, and these are as far as I can tell, are probably going to be the more powerful versions. They have completely original kits, as well as just very powerful abilities, and are set up to be pretty expensive. And we'll talk about that in a little bit, but these type of units specifically drop from red crystals. Units such as Tifa and Red 13 will be gotten from regular rainbows, getting up to the multiple copies and the Super TMR requirement, and then being able to just, boost them, kind of thing, to the NeoVision. So, speaking of NeoVision level, what is exactly new about them? Well, NeoVisions start already awakened at 7-star. As you can see here in this teeny tiny picture, which I will explain to you, Cloud here starts at level 1 and can go up to level 120. Consider that versus a regular 7-star that you awaken from 6-star. Now, they start at level 101 and go up to level 120, so obviously you're still going to need EXP Cactars and whatnot. But it actually is a little bit more complicated than that, because, as it turns out, units such as Cloud, well, guess what? They can be awakened. And this is going to be, I think, a major sticking point for a lot of people in the future. It does seem like the max level continuing on into the future will be 120 for NeoVision units, but NeoVision units also can be awakened. And this is kind of a big deal, because NeoVision unit, if you are not a fan of War of the Visions, where once you get a character, you need character shards to be able to awaken the character and make them stronger, that is basically the feature that will be coming over from War of the Visions to Brave Exvius. For instance, Cloud here. Cloud, a pure NeoVisions character, can be awakened 3 times. Each of those times, as far as I can tell, will require 50 character shards as well as a special orb item. These orb items as well as shards are not just from being dupes, it seems like they are also gotten from other sources as well, such as events, time-limited events, as well as potential shops in the future. I think it's pretty safe to assume even that as the game goes on, these units will become more easier to get the character shards later, but for the time being, it is going to be a little expensive, and how quickly these will be to awaken to 1-star, 2-star, or 3-star is going to be a big question mark. So until May 1st, hold that off. If you feel like you don't like it, again, try and wait until we actually see what it looks like. And for that, I'm also going to bring up just a little bit of a visual here. So there is a new feature for these NeoVision units called Brave Shift. I talked about it very shortly earlier. Brave Shift allows you to change a character's mode. For instance, for NeoVision Cloud, he will change from in between a regular version of himself, which is a single target chain finisher, into his bike mode. And I gotta say, big props to the bike, because that's just cool. But anyway, there he is an AoE chainer. So Brave Shift allows characters to change basically their what function and what roles they will do in battle. Interestingly enough, as we can see here, we can get an early peek to not only what Brave Shift stat screens look like, but we can also see their stats too. Cloud looking at about 4,000 attack. This is not super optimized equipment, so I'm assuming that NeoVision units will probably, with the best whale equipment, be able to hit 5k stats, potentially. Anyway, you'll notice that there is some big differences here. You can equip the same stuff between the two Brave Shifts, but you can also equip differently. Taking a look at Cloud here, Cloud in his true dual hand finisher is true dual hand wielding, whereas in his bike form, he is true dual hand in regular form. Bike form, he is true dual wielding. So there you go. That's a little bit of an interesting thing about Brave Shift, is that you will be able to switch up your equipment, and that is potentially really interesting for the future of Brave Exvius. It does mean that even though you can only have 5 or 6 units in a trial, you can switch up their equipment, change how they attack. You know, you can have a lightning weapon on one form of Cloud, but have a fire weapon on in the other form. It could also make for some really interesting boss design in the future. So I'm going to give a shout out to that. I quite like that feature a lot. Continuing on down, there is, of course, going to be a few other features such as abilities. There are going to be special abilities that you can improve as well. These require specific materials to upgrade these abilities. As you upgrade the abilities, they will become stronger. It was also noted on stream that there seemed to be some abilities that you could only use a certain number of times in a fight. This shouldn't be too surprising because I do believe Global has these abilities already, so it's not surprising that these abilities are making their way to the Japanese side. Now, love it or hate it, this is going to be a brand new feature of these characters, is vision cards. If you play War of the Visions or a lot of other gachas such as FF7, you know the idea of these. Basically, they are cards, they are extra equipment that can boost your stats, and they come in many different varieties and forms. Right now I'm just trying to find if I can show off some of these because they are pretty gosh darn adorable. I absolutely love them. Here we are. And apologies for the kind of difficult way of actually setting this up for this video, but anyway, vision cards come with the units, or they come from Hell Arena, or they can come from other sources. They are not in the primary gotcha. So for anybody who was really worried that Brave Exvius was going to have a split gotcha, vision cards as well as characters, have no worries, have no fears, that is not the thing. As for the vision cards themselves, they are these little animated cards, and I have to give a shout out to the fact that they actually are animated. I really do love it. The one that comes with the brand new version of Cloud, and yes, this one comes exclusively off pulling a brand new CG Cloud, is based on the FF7 Remake bike scene where him and Jesse are on the bike. It's animated, they're there together. It's absolutely freaking adorable. And so I gotta give a kind of big shout out to that. There is also a process needed of leveling these cards as well. There were four cards that were shown off on the beginning stream, some that range from increasing attack and defense to some that increase spirit, and that is the primary goal of these vision cards, is to give another stat increase. The Jesse and Cloud Bike one, for example, gives a total, when fully maxed out, of 100 extra attack points, which, if you consider how many boosts and everything, if these scale properly with boosts as other equipment, should push, it's been a long day, should push Cloud and Jesse's attack, or the new version of Cloud, much higher. Now, if you're wondering who can equip these vision cards, it is only NeoVision units. 5 and 7 star units, 4 star units, 3 star units, anything below a NeoVision cannot equip it. So units such as NeoVision Tifa, NeoVision Red 13, and NeoVision, the brand new version of Cloud, will all be able to equip these vision cards, as you can see right here. 4 of them were shown off: Cloud and Jesse, Dark Veritas and Laswell, the Leviathan with, I forget her name, please forgive me, and the opening cutscene. But each of these cards offers different benefits for the units. They are not necessary, they are not needed, but they are stat boosters, and they can be leveled and improved. As they are leveled and improved, you get more benefits out of them. There you are, when it comes to those cards. And so, yes, when it comes to awakening old units, you will be able to use some special materials. These materials will be, some of them will at least be handed out at the beginning of the Final Fantasy VII Remake stream, because Tifa is going to be basically a free given away NeoVision unit so that everyone can test it out and see what they think of her, and NeoVision in general, so kind of like a sampler at Costco. And yeah, that's what I basically came up with at the time. This is the ability increasing screen. Basically kind of works in the same way that, you know, ability awakenings do, except just a different type of material that you will farm from events. So there you are. And yes, when it comes down to it, you will be able to awaken your NeoVision units, as I said. Gives basically improved stats, and that is the major thing about it. So yes, I think that I've covered basically everything about it. There is a lot of stuff to do with NeoVision units. Obviously having limited abilities, brave shifts, as well as ability awakenings, unit awakenings. There is a lot of things that come into building a NeoVision unit. There is a lot more things that come into building these NeoVision units than there was with other previous stuffs, or other previous rarities of units. Now, there was one other thing to talk about when it comes to it, comes to NeoVision units such as Cloud with Awakening. So you will not just be getting extra stats, you will also get some benefits as well. EX plus 1 will give Brave Shift unlocked and stats up. EX2 will give stats up, as well as a free 100% Super Trust Moogle. And EX3 stats up, as well as a special vision card obtained. Now, you may be a little bit concerned about the fact that Brave Shift unlocked. That is under EX1. Well, Umbra, why didn't you mention that earlier? Based on what I have seen from the initial live stream, it does seem like EX1, so long as you are playing the game, will be pretty darn accessible. Just by playing the events such as the Final Fantasy VII Remake Mod King, I think you will have more than enough shards to awaken Cloud to EX level 1 pretty easily, giving him his Brave Shift or giving another unit their Brave Shift. I don't think EX1 will be the problem. I do think that EX2 and EX3 will be more of a problem that could potentially require you pulling multiple copies of units to get more character shards, but at this time I'm not 100% sure about that. As for vision cards, I think that it is pretty fine the way that they are doing them. When you get the NeoVision Crystal, it also comes with the vision cards, though it's kind of a set. And in that sense, you are getting more out of you are getting that vision card to start, and that makes it much more accessible, provided that you can pull the unit. So, there you are. Take that for whatever you will, kind of thing. Other than that, there was a few other interesting, really interesting details, such as the fact that Cloud actually has 2 limit bursts. One that is his Braver for his level 1, and also Braver level 2, you can upgrade basically his character's limit burst, but not only that, in his Brave Shift, we saw different kinds of... I just want to find where the video is. But, sorry, going back to it, he does have 2 individual limit bursts. He has a regular kind of limit burst for his bike mode, and he has a CG limit burst for his LB, or his regular mode and finisher. And to that extent, I'm hoping right away here the video will show up. And it should show up. My timing is a little bit off. Apologies. Now they're getting into that. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. Just to take a peek at it. It's in here somewhere. Gosh darn it. Oh, I almost had this so perfectly timed. But yes, there will also be a special banner, the new special banner on which you can use 5-star and new vision tickets, which will be a newly added thing. New vision tickets will be the type of ticket that you can actually get a NeoVision off of. There will also be 4-star and 5-star tickets, plus NeoVision tickets and special tickets as well. Most likely they are going to be the EX ticket equivalent for NeoVision, but there will be a special banner for that. But in the meantime, yeah, not necessarily. Trying to think if there's anything else. There was a lot of information on the live stream. There's going to be the 4.5 medal exchange, as well as some daily campaigns. The biggest daily campaign ever in the history of Brave Exvius, which is a daily 10-pull campaign for the entire month of May. That's right! Congratulations, Brave Exvius JP players. You can get 310 blue crystals throughout the entire month of May. Aren't you guys excited? Okay, that's a little cynical, but really, yeah. It's going to be, there's going to be some free pulls through the entire month of May to celebrate NeoVisions, as well as the half-year anniversary. I think that's totally fine and totally cool. Also, it should be noted that we will be getting a quality of life of 200 slots in our inventory, so that's just great news. And we also got a sneak peek for the future of NeoVisions as well. Early May, Barret of the Dark. Yes, the original Barret of the Dark will get a NeoVisions Awakening. Also, the Arena Ranking Reward Renewal. So hang on to those Arena medals if you have a ton of them. Sounds like it's going to be getting a little bit of an upgrade to potentially deal with NeoVision units. And hey, that's just great. Late May, OG Cloud. Yes, the original 5-star Cloud will be getting a NeoVision Awakening, as well as Unit equipment saved by Dex, see abilities, info mid-fight. All of that will be coming in late May. And into June, NeoVision Vortex, something to get NeoVision mats, as well as Lorraine's NeoVision Awakening, the paid unit on the JP side, and the free unit, free unit, the gacha-based character that you got on the global side. Will be getting a NeoVision Awakening, so she will become quite powerful. There will also be a Season 2 story digest, which I think is rather important to be excited about, because the first one that came out on JP was awesome. It gave 10,000 Lapis and 10 new OCs, and that's really great. There will also be a unit storage, dump units that you don't use into storage, which sounds a lot like the FX7 ability of having a storage place where you can take units out of your inventory, and that way they don't clog up. Great. Also, there's going to be a breakthrough survival battle, and that is basically, I think, everything. It's quite a long bit of information. So while I'm hopefully waiting for the CG animation to show up, I do think is in the demonstration section, so let's just head over there. I want to give my final thoughts basically about NeoVision units in general. Whew. I mean, first of all, yeah, they do seem like they are going to be a lot of work, and I am sure that the character shard thing is probably going to be a big sticking point. If you didn't enjoy it in War of the Visions, it basically seems like the same thing here, where it's going to be holding back your unit's true capabilities, and you're probably just not going to like this system at all. Either way, it is going to be a feature of NeoVision units, and it will be a feature into the future. So you're kind of either going to have to go for it or, you know, quit or ignore it. One of those three, but something. NeoVision units are interesting and exciting. I talked with Evil Laughter on stream for a fair amount of time tonight, and overall, it just seems kind of like a fun thing for me personally, as well as him. Like, a little cautionary is our overall feeling. It really kind of depends the finer nitty-gritty details. How much gold is this going to cost? How hard is it to get these equipments? How hard is it to get character shards? War of the Visions is quite difficult, but, you know, it's actually totally fine. Once you get used to it, kind of thing. There's a weird thing to say, but there it is. There it is. I think that overall, I quite like the kind of excitement of a new rarity and everything. Obviously, the 1% rates are not exciting, but they have to make it rare because I assume that these characters are going to be considerably more powerful. It does mean a lot more rainbows, which could mean a lot more super TMRs, which could mean a lot of these old units are going to be totally fine and okay. It is a little bit hard to tell exactly how well this will go about in the future, because I think a big thing is whether or not people are going to really get into this, whether people think that it is going to be a thing that they want to play, if it's a thing that they want to do, because it is a lot of extra work. And it kind of goes against the idea of Brave Exvius, where, you know, once you get a character, minus the whole Prism thing with the 7-star, it's pretty easy to max out a new character. Like if you get a CG Cleome or a brand new Garnet, it was pretty easy to get those characters. There's your limit burst. We finally got there right before the end of the video. Rip the idea of CG Sephiroth, I guess. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff in this update, and this update is going to be one of the biggest updates that I think Brave Exvius will be getting, at least certainly in a long time. So yeah, I think that overall I'm cautionarily optimistic about NeoVision so far, mainly because they did not split the gacha. If they had split the gacha between Vision cards as well as characters, that probably would have been a killing blow to Brave Exvius, just because a lot of people here would not accept that. They play Brave Exvius because it is a specific like character only gacha, and it's a good thing that they kept that. In general, obviously, the fact that I did enjoy FF7 Remake so much, I am also pretty excited about the fact that it is Final Fantasy VII themed. There is a new Barret, there is a new Cloud. Tifa and Red 13 are getting a rework, so that is exciting too, and I don't have to pull for those last two characters. So yeah, your own mileage will be, will depend. It will vary. It will vary. You may hate the NeoVisions system because, you trust mastered coined some of these old 5 stars, TMR Max. Tifa, obviously, and Red 13 not being super high value in terms of meta and late game, even with enhancements. But yeah, I feel pretty optimistic because it is a new power level. The real question is the nitty-gritty details. Is it going to just feel really bad trying to pull these? Is it not? Is it going to be in between? Is it just going to be business as usual? I think that the character upgrade is probably the sticking point, but hey, I don't really play Brave Exvius that seriously, so I'll give it a shot and see what it is, and once we get in, I'll have a better idea. But anyway, those are my thoughts on and all the information, such as I have it about NeoVisions. If there's anything that changes, I'll probably make note of it in another video. But May 1st, get excited or raise those gun ears because oh God, it's tomorrow. Oh God, it's tomorrow. April 30th, provided there is no extended maintenance after a 14-hour maintenance. Get ready. Hang on to your butts. I'll probably be live streaming it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.